Hello children, hope all of you are fine. In this video I am going to explain you the chapter Rural Development. In my previous chapter we have discussed the first half of the Development chapter, and we had discussed the lingering challenges in the field of the rural development. In this chapter I will be explaining you the emerging challenges in the field of the rural development. Emerging challenges, dear children, are of two types. First is the employment outside the agriculture, and second challenges are related to the organic farming and sustainable development, like that. First of all, I'll be explaining you the employment outside the agriculture field. Dear children, as you know that agriculture is the main occupation of the people living in the rural areas. But due to climate uncertainty, somehow the illiteracy among the people, indebtedness, poverty, there is emerging need for some other allied jobs related to the agriculture to be created in the rural areas. Let us see what are some other allied jobs, occupations which can be useful for the farmers, for the persons living in the rural areas, and they will be helpful in adding their income, etc. First of all, let us see the animal husbandry. Animal husbandry means rearing of the cattle. Rearing of the different types of the cattle, poultry, poultry farming, cattle rearing, sheep rearing, etc. According to 2012, poultry farming contributes to the 58% of the total rural occupations. Then cattle rearing is of 24%, sheep rearing is 16%, 1% pig rearing, and others are 1%. So these are animal husbandry is very important area of the employment to the rural people, and they may provide the additional income to the people living in rural areas. The animal husbandry is a source of alternative employment to the people living in the urban rural areas, and some additional income to the people living in the rural areas, along with the transport, fuel, nutrition to their family, etc. So it's very important area of the occupation to the rural people. Some other animals along with the sheep, cattle, etc. are the camels, asses, and horses, ponies, mules, etc. These are also constitute the animal husbandry. According to 2012 data, India had 300 million cattle, out of which 108 million were the buffaloes, and it was very encouraging, and this has increased the production of the milk to the landmark. And since 1960 to 2012, there has been increase in the production of the milk by 5 times. This was due to the milk, that special operation known as the Operation Flood. So it is very source of alternative employment to near about 7 lakh people, small and marginal farmers. It's very important. One more importance of the animal husbandry is that Generally, where the land is less fertile, the people of those areas where the land is barren, land is less fertile due to the lack of the irrigation facilities, etc., it is very encouraging source of employment, source of income to those people where the land is not fertile. However, we see that in the field of the size of animal husbandry, livestock production, India ranks first. But in the field of the quality production of the cattle rearing or the animal husbandry, we are far behind. Still, the reasons are because of the backward quality of the cattle, backward quality of animal husbandry, horses, mules, pigs, hens, etc. And there is a lack of know-how also. There is lack of knowledge among the people, and due to which they are still adopting the traditional methods, old methods of rearing the cattle. So, alternatively, there is of course less knowledge, less development in the veterinary field also, due to which those people who are trying to invest in the field of the animal husbandry, when they do not get the veterinary helps to the people, their livestock dies and they suffer, and due to which many of the people, they are afraid of entering in this field. Second main occupation which is there is the fisheries. Fishing communities, they regard the water bodies as the mother or the provider. Then fish, this is also very important source of employment and the source of income to the people who are living in those areas where the agricultural production cannot be more. Kerala, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, these are the states who are producing, who have entered in the field of the fisheries, and they are doing very well. Fishing is of two types. One is inland fishing and other is the marine fishing. Inland fishing, these are the rivers, the inland sources are rivers, wells, ponds, etc. And these contribute to the 64% of the total fisheries, these sources. And marine sources like sea, etc., sea, oceans, etc., these constitute 36% of the total sources. We see that though it is very encouraging field to the people, and mostly it provides occupation to the women also. A large number of women are also getting the employment in fisheries field. Of course, we see that the condition of this sector, fisheries, is not much encouraging. They are still backward. Reasons may be because the rampant unemployment is there, illiteracy is there, low earning per head is there, indebtedness, and absence of the mobility of the labor from this sector to any other sector, because they are skilled only in catching the fish, and this skill cannot be useful in any other sector. So still this fisheries, this occupation is the backward occupation. What is the suggestion? The suggestion is that the credit facility should be increased to the people who are engaged in this occupation, fisheries, so that they can come out of the vicious circle of indebtedness. These people who are illiterate people, they should be taught to form the self-help groups, so that in case of needs, they can get the financial help and other guidances from the self-help groups. Then the government should also try to encourage the people for the innovative methods of the catching the fishes, and government should encourage for the upgrading the technology of catching the fishes. Another very encouraging occupation is the horticulture. Horticulture is very important source of employment in rural areas nowadays, and horticulture crops include the fruits, vegetables, flowers, tuber crops, medicinal plants, etc. And it is over a time, it has very much increasing occupation to the people, getting the alternative jobs for the rural people, for the rural areas people. India is the largest producer in the field of the fruits and vegetables. It is the leading producer in the field of the production of the fruits like mangoes, bananas, cashew nut, coconuts, etc. Crop productivity has led to the golden revolution in the field of the horticulture since 1991 to 2012. Horticulture, production of the flowers, production of the vegetables and fruits, etc., due to which it has increased and encouraged the small and rural farmers to come out from the stages of the indebtedness and from the debt trap. These people are getting near about 20% of the total rural employment from the horticulture. And horticulture contributes about 6% of the total GDP. It's very encouraging, very, very encouraging. Nowadays, the people are entering in this field of horticulture more and more, and exporting the production of the mangoes, bananas, flowers, etc. But there is a dark face also. As the people are using more and more land for the horticulture purpose, the production of the pulses is decreasing day by day. And the pulses, which are the sources of the protein, they are lagging behind, due to which now the cost of the pulses is increasing, and the people are supplementing the use of pulses to the use of vegetables, and due to which they are lacking with the proteins in their bodies. Another source is the cottage and household industries. Cottage and household industries have been the source of employment and source of alternative income since very long ago to the Indian people. India is an agricultural country. India is a country where near about 85% of the people, they reside in the rural areas. So, from the very beginning, the cottage industries, village industries, they have been the sources of employment and alternative income to the rural people. But in the reign of British rule, this This occupation had been very disgraced by the Britishers, and even then, I'll tell you that the activities which are included in the cottage industries are spinning, weaving, dyeing, bleaching. These have been the the occupations, the works, the activities which were there since many years ago. Growth of textile industry has hit very hard to the cottage industries, because the textile industry was increased by the Britishers, and since then it has been hit very hard. Though the government is taking many steps and encouraging the people who are involved in textile industry, in the village and cottage industries. Nowadays, the soap manufacturing, doll making, mushroom cultivation, beekeeping, etc. These are becoming the modern sources of income and modern types of the cottage industries. And the people from the rural areas, especially the women, can also enter in this field, and they can generate the income and become the self-dependent. So these are the challenges which are there nowadays. The people are facing. These are the emerging challenges. Another emerging challenge is the sustainable development and the organic farming. As the people are becoming more and more literate, more and more aware, they are knowing the bad effects of the traditional farming and the uses of the chemicals, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides in the field of the agriculture. And that is why the awareness is there for the liking of the organic farmings. Organic farming is the farming, and means producing the agricultural products without the use of chemicals, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, and using the traditional methods like the manure, etc. It is also an emerging occupation nowadays, and people are aware, and many of the people are entering in this field. It discards the use of chemical inputs, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, etc. And first of all, we should know that why we should encourage the organic farming. First is the discard of the use of the non-renewable resources. Organic farming actually uses the manure, and it does not use the synthetic chemical products, because they are petroleum based. So the petroleum based inputs, they are non-renewable, and manure, etc., these are renewable sources. In this way, organic farming increases the use of the renewable resources, renewable inputs. Second thing is the environment friendly. It does not harm the environment, because we are using the traditional method, use of the manure, dung manure, etc. As we know that the chemical fertilizer, insecticide, pesticides, they are petroleum based, and they spoil the soil, water, air, everything. So organic farming helps in protecting the environment. It is environment friendly. It sustains the soil fertility. When we use the chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, it spoils it, spoils the fertility of the land, and after continuous use of chemical fertilizers, after some time the land becomes barren. But when we use the manure in place of the chemical fertilizers, it increases the fertility of the land. So it is very environment friendly and sustains the fertility of the land also. The products which are being produced by the use of the manure and by using the organic farming methods, these are very tastier and healthier also. It's the awareness is there. In the foreign countries, the products which are being produced by using the organic farming, they are in high demand. They are very high demand. Most of the countries, they have they have made it necessary that whatever the products are being produced by using the organic farming, they will be having a particular stamp of that will ensure that it is being produced. It has been produced by using the manure instead of using the chemical fertilizers. And the people are in the foreign countries, of course, in our country also, they are and they are demanding these products. Last thing is that organic farming uses the inexpensive technology, so it is very helpful to the small and marginal farmers, because the use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides and insecticides, it needs a huge quantity of water for irrigation, and due to which the small farmers and the marginal farmers, they are not able to apply these techniques. And the organic farming is inexpensive, so it is very useful for the small and marginal farmers also. But still, one problem is there, that organic farming, it takes a long time to be ready to be sold in the market. Means the life cycle is long. It takes long time to be ready to be consumed. And still the people are not much aware, only very small percentage of the people are aware of the use of the organic farming produced products. Alternatively, moreover, these products are very costly also. So the common people, they don't purchase these products, and they are purchasing those products which are cheaper. But this can also be nullified, because when these products are being sold at high cost, no matter if their demand is less, because that loss which is there due to the less demand is compensated with the high prices which the farmers are getting from the consumers for these products. Of course, nowadays the people are being more and more aware, and this is an increasing field in the rural areas, for the people of the rural areas, for increasing their income and for the alternative employment. This chapter is over. In next chapter, we will see the human development formation, human capital formation. Till then, goodbye.